Hi, this is Rudy Jones of HamiltonStateBaseball.com. Welcome to the South Carolina College Baseball Report for Wednesday, March the 25th. As you can see, I didn't set up my backdrop. Not a very professional backdrop as it is, but I was just too lazy to do it tonight. One of these days, I promise I'm going to get something that looks more professional and maybe you'll take me more seriously. But anyway, as you can see, I'm rocking a USC Salcahatchee shirt. It was a gift from Bubba Dorman a few years back. And I'm going to have to add Bubba to my list of coaches who coached at two different state schools as a head coach. I'd forgotten about him on the list, and this shirt reminded me. Anyway, 10 games involving state teams played on Wednesday. Let's take a look at what happened. Down in Charleston, Christian Stratus doubled and tripled to drive in 3 runs, and the Citadel came from behind to beat Presbyterian by a score of 9-4 at the Joe. The Bulldogs are now 10-13, and PC fell to 4-22. Citadel pitchers struck out 16. Michael Gibson had a great day for the Bulldogs. He's really been playing well on both the mound and at the plate. He was 3 for 4 with a double, a run scored, and 2 RBI. For PC, Nick Smith and Jonathan Williams had two run homers apiece for them. If I didn't get the record, Citadel's 10-13, and PC fell to 4-22. Camden Crosby had 8 strikeouts in 4 innings, and Bryson Williams struck out 3 in 1 innings, and USC Union combined for a 5-inning no-hitter and a 14-0 win over Denmark Tech in the first game of a doubleheader. The Bantams also won Game 2 by a score of 27-1 in a game that was halted after 3.5 innings because of the score. Union improved to 19-14. Denmark Tech fell to 1-10. And as best I can tell, that was the first game the Panthers had played since March 3rd. When you don't play for 3 weeks, you're going to get a little bit rusty. Anyway, Robbie Murphy drove in 4 runs, and 5 teammates had 3 RBI apiece in that Game 2 27-1 win. Also, Jesus Garcia was 3 for 3 with a double, a run scored, and 4 RBI in Game 1. And Tanner Smith was 3 for 3 with a double, 4 runs scored, and 3 RBI in the nightcap. Down at Riley Park in Sumter, Morris held off Bob Jones in Game 1 to win 11-10, and then scored 6 runs in their last at-bat of Game 2 to win 9-6, and completed a doubleheader sweep. That improved the Hornets to 6-11. They're on a 3-game winning streak. Bob Jones fell to 7-16, and they're on a 3-game losing streak. In that Game 2, Bob Jones had a 6-3 lead going into the bottom of the 6th. Hornets scrapped back and tied it, and then Adrian Quinones broke the tie with a 3-run homer to left field, and the Hornets held on to get that win. Morris is 6-11. Bob Jones is 7-16. Mannix Crawford had 3 RBI, and Jake Highsmith drove in 2 runs, had a 2-run homer for BJU in Game 1. Those teams play again at 1 o'clock at Riley Park in Sumter, and there should be video stream. I watched it today. Now, they don't have any audio, but they do have video you can watch. Elsewhere, 5 pitchers combined on a 1-hitter in Game 1 as Florida Star Tech shut out. Don't know what's wrong with me tonight. Florida Star Tech shut out Francis Marion JV 13-0 in Game 1. And in Game 2, the Stingers held on 11-8 to extend their winning streak to 7 games. FT Tech is now 31-6, and they've got a big weekend series at home against Gaston College coming up. BJ Balls had 4 hits and 5 RBI in the twin bill, including a couple of hits and 2 RBI in Game 1. In Game 2, J.C. Gamble was 3 for 5 with 2 doubles, 2 stolen bases, 2 runs scored, and 3 RBI. As I mentioned, FD Tech's playing at home against Gaston College this weekend in Region 10 play. The Rhinos will be coming in with a 13-2 region record. FD Tech is 1 game back at 12-3. The Rhinos won 2 of 3 to open the region schedule earlier this year, and FD Tech gets a chance to see what they can do about cutting into that lead. Down at SRP Park in North Augusta, Evan Harding had a single and 2 doubles, and Salvatore Lamo drove in 2 runs as USC Aiken won the battle for the paddle over Augusta by a score of 7-5. Both teams are in the Peach Belt Conference. This is a neutral site game they play at SRP Park. This is the 7th year they've done it. The Pacers improved to 22-9. Augusta fell to 15-16. The game does not count in the Peach Belt Conference standings, even though they're both in that league. For the Pacers, Osmond Melendez was 2 for 4 with a walk and 2 RBI. Also, Jack Myers had 3 singles and drove in 2 runs as Georgia Southern beat College of Charleston by a score of 5-2 to get its first road win of the season. The Eagles were 0-9 on the road before Wednesday night. That improved their record to 7-18. College Charleston fell to 10-14. The only other wins that for Georgia Southern away from home was that neutral site win over Clemson at SRP Park earlier this month. For the college, Jackson Barini had a single and an RBI, and Dylan Johnson threw out his 42nd would-be base stealer of his career. That ties him with Irvin Roper for the school record on most runners caught stealing in a career. In the only other game going on Tuesday, on Wednesday, Rockingham Community College handed USC Lancaster its fourth straight loss. The score was 12-6. The Lancers fell to 17-16. Rockingham improved to 16-19. There are only 2 games on the state schedule for Thursday. As I mentioned, Bob Jones and Morris complete their 3-game schedule at 1 o'clock, 3-game series at 1 o'clock on Thursday. And then Clemson opens a home ACC series against Miami at 7 o'clock at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Of course, the Tigers have lost 4 straight games. They gave up a late 5-run lead in losing to a good Coastal Carolina team on Tuesday. I'm sure that didn't make the Tigers feel any better. Clemson's going to need to cut down on his errors, get a little bit better pitching, and on from here. The Hurricanes come in at 2-4 in ACC. Clemson is at 1-5. Clemson is at 18-8 overall. Anyway, that's the South Carolina College baseball recap for Wednesday, March 25th. You can always follow things I've got going on at PalmettoStateBaseball.com. I give live in-game updates on my X handle of Palmetto Base, and you can email me at rudyjones@PalmettoStateBaseball.com. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a great night, and remember, Jesus loves you.